Hello, this is Joy Newsroom with me, Carlos Caloni. In the headlines, Occupy Jolobi House protesters wrap up their 3-day demonstration. And Katamanso Municipal Assembly says its inability to respond to emergency cases such as flooding has been compounded by the taking away of its mandate to collect property rates, a major source of raising funds to attend to such cases. And tributes continue to pour in for late former legislator MP for Bantama. We'll hear from some close allies and family members who are still in shock 24 hours since news of his demise broke. We have details of these and many more stories, including business, sports, world news, and all in this hour. Stay tuned. It's a pleasure having you here on Joy Newsroom. Now, after 3 days of protest, members of pressure group Democracy Hub, as well as some sympathizers, blocked major streets in the capital, demanding an end to corruption, mismanagement of the economy, and unemployment. They styled late into the night, demanding removal of barricades in their way so they could protest at the frontage of the Jubilee House. Maxwell Agbagba has a wrap of the last day of the protest.
The protesters singing "Arise Ghana Youth" as they block a car filled with personnel of the Ghana Prison Service. The leader of the delegation pleaded, but the demonstrators would not budge.
And we are now coming. We are for you. I should have been in your uniform.
But you can't. Right? You can't. So allow us to do for you. Listen. Okay? No.
If I found place my demonstration, nobody's going anywhere. Nobody's going anywhere. If I found place on my demonstration, what do you have to tell us?
Hundreds of vehicles were forced to use long alternative routes as the main 37 military hospital road became inaccessible. Negotiations between Director of Police Welfare DOP Habib Achumesi and the protesters to clear the main road failed to reach a compromise. Many influential persons were there to lend support to the protesters. Some of them were criticized on social media for not openly declaring support for the demonstrators. Hip life musician Kwalkesi says some of his colleagues in the entertainment industry are alleged to be in close ties with the government, which is why they cannot openly criticize.
Things are not going right. You see, so I have to let the government know. I have to let the president know. I have to let the world know. All these people here are expressing their anger that things are not going well. So I'm here to, support and be part of Ghana. And this is what we are doing. Everybody is suffering. It's affecting everybody in this country. So the government have to do something. Many of my colleagues have been bought. Many of these artists who are not voicing out are politically motivated. They've been bought, so they can't say anything. It happens. We know most of them have been endorsed. They have endorsed the government in a way that when things are going wrong, they can't voice out. We have not endorsed anybody. We endorse Ghana. We want a better Ghana. So that's why we are here. We don't care who is voicing out and who is not. At the end of the day, Ghana and the world will see that things are not going right. That's why we are out here.
YouTuber Kojo Sheldon says he's standing up for his rights and does not care about the consequences.
Displeasures, you understand? There are a lot of bad things happening in the country. There are a lot of graduate unemployment, bro. Finding a job in this country is a job. You understand? You see all these people here, some of them have been in the house for 4 or 5 years, they don't have jobs. What do you want them to do? You think this is about somebody watching my video or somebody giving me validation? I don't care. If you like, unsubscribe to my channel because I'm demonstrating. I am doing what I'm supposed to do. At the end of the day, you will know that you will sit down there and know, because the Sheldon didn't sit down there. You understand? My own, I have done my own. I've done my part. I'm done.
Musician Stoneboy says Ghanaians want to see a change in the current state of affairs.
Simple life is all we want to lead. The motorway with the tolls that have been taken from years. I lost my knee to the accident on a motorway.
Yeah, and you listed that as one of the reasons why you decided to join the...
It's a major reason that I can never forget. I walk with a titanium knee replacement in my leg. How can I ever forget that happened to me? And even up to today, people still die off of the motorway, tires are blasting and all of that. Have we not raised enough revenue to be able to fix the motorway that Kwame Nkrumah built from yesteryear? Yes? And I'm not standing here in the name of MPP, NDC, or CPP, or KKP. I stand here in the name of Ghanaians as I am. That's my brother. I'm one of them. The president is a Ghanaian. The police force are Ghanaians. The military are Ghanaians. So guess what? It gives me a lot of joy. In the beginning, I was a little bit just skeptical, but I had to stand, because I always do, to make sure that I come in, because I don't really care about whoever wants to politicize my indulgence, because that is not the reason.
And that's the fear for many of your colleagues.
That's the fear of many of my colleagues out there, because they might want to, but then it can be politicized easily and they're going to be targeted and a lot. But I'm happy that this is not a lawless or a chaos or a harmful protest.
We are tired. We are what? Tired. We are what? Tired. We are what?
As the sun disappeared from the sky, the agitation to protest at the frontage of the Jubilee House became stronger. But hundreds of police officers made sure the demonstrators did not get close to the Jubilee House as they resorted to singing protest and freedom songs.
And he died. He died. 24-year-old. He died. Not because of sickness. The country failed them. You, I swear, God will judge you. What you did on Thursday. God.
My lady, calm down. Wait, calm down. My lady, calm down. I want to hear a story. Calm down. What's your name?
Nasiba.
I can see you. Calm down. You calm down first. Let's start. Calm down, baby. Calm down. You're very angry.
I'm very angry.
What's your story?
I am very angry. I'm more angry at this morning. People are dying each day. The dying list is machine in Kolebu Gospel. Do you know the number of people who died? A 24-year-old boy died this morning. His father is a teacher. Gave over 30 years of his life to the service. Could not afford transplants. Could not afford dialysis. 400 cedis a week. What do you mean? Do you know how much taxes they check out every day? The cost of living. But you bring in flowers for your daughter's birthday. You bring a cake to celebrate 11. God will judge the government.
The community mobilizer for Fix the Country, Oliver Baka-Bomo, is optimistic that the protest will mark the beginning of a change.
Today, on the dry, arid, and concrete asphalt of a road that leads to a house of shame, I have found family here. A family born out of adversity, but united by our diversity. We stand here as a reminder that we have built a new coalition of young people. A coalition that understands the value of resilience and the belief in justice. Today we stand here on the precipice of change. We gather in the spirit of African resilience and determination. We are reminded of the Ghanaian spirit, the never-dying Ghanaian spirit that has shaped the course of history, to remind us that yes, we can. Ghana, our youth in their commitment have shown us that the dream of a new Ghana is possible. Together we have shown Ghana that the call for justice and freedom cannot be silenced, no matter the odds that are stacked against us. For the people of Ghana, I want to remind you that the youth you see today occupying Julobi House are purchasing tomorrow's freedom for your sake and for tomorrow's sake. By their blood and the tears they have shed today, we have exemplified the enduring spirit of the Osagifo Kwame Nkrumah.
Well, the police says it is looking forward to a meeting with the leadership of the protesters. This was contained in a statement issued by the service. Let me share details of that particular statement, which is on your screen now, and it's dated 23 September 2023. The police statement following the end of a 3-day demonstration by the Democracy Hub group. Now, it says, following the end of the 3-day demonstration by the above-mentioned group, the police would like to express gratitude to members of the public, especially those in Accra, for their support and understanding while we worked within our mandates to maintain law and order during the demonstration. Now, the police would like to apologize to members of the public who were inconvenienced in one way or the other, especially those who were caught up in the vehicular holdup during the demonstration. As the demonstration has come to an end, we look forward to meeting with the organizers for a debriefing session with them with the aim of fostering a more fruitful engagement in the future. We would like to assure the public once again that the service is not against any person or group of persons who may want to demonstrate. We have a track record of providing security for demonstrations in the past and would continue to do so within the confines of the law. We therefore urge the general public to continue to partner us as we work towards deepening our democratic credentials and maintaining peace and security in our beloved country. And it's signed by Grace Ansah Akrofi, Assistant Commissioner of Police, Director of Public Affairs. Now, away from that story, the Punkatamanso Municipal Assembly is helpless in responding to emergency cases that occur in the municipality. Responding to concerns of the assembly members grappling with the aftermath of Friday flooding in the municipality, the municipal chief executive for the area, Samuel Oko Amankwa, said even though the assembly is actively contemplating collaboration with the National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, he emphasized that the assembly alone cannot bear the weight of this responsibility. According to him, the assembly's inability to attend to the flood victims, among other emergency cases, has been compounded by the taking away of its mandate of collecting property rates, which is a major source of raising funds to support the operations of the municipality.
The assembly, it's NADMO. We have given everything to NADMO. Assembly, as it is now, will team up with NADMO and see what is feasible within the shortest possible time. But assembly on its own is not ready to give out. What we want to do is liaison with NADMO, because disaster issues, it's NADMO that has to come in quickly, and then we see what to do. And we are linking the region and national as well in this case. But when it comes to the assembly, because of the property reader, we are no longer in charge in collecting. It has rendered the assembly helpless in most of the things.
Let's now take you to the Ashanti region, where family of former Bantama MP Daniel Ochem Ebuaje remain in shock following his demise. I beg your pardon. Now, the former legislator was confirmed dead on Saturday at the Comfort Anoche Teaching Hospital after a short illness. Nana Yaujima visited the family home and filed this report.
Well, it came as a shock to me because I had met with him about 3 weeks ago, and I didn't see any indication of sickness on his part. So when the news came to me early in the morning through a text message from one of our executives, I was quite surprised. And I followed up with a call, and it was confirmed that indeed it was true, that a former member of parliament for Bantama had indeed gone to his maker. And as you know, even though he was a competitor in the last Bantama parliamentary primary, he was actually a good friend of mine that we go back many years. Even when we were in secondary school, he was my senior in secondary school. And after secondary school, when he was in the university, he was a very brilliant student. And right from the university, he was actually teaching his mates. And we, the ones who were behind him. So when I was in secondary school, for instance, he started vacation classes, which I was one of the organizers. So we would teach and I would collect the fees. Yeah, that tells you the kind of friendship and intimacy we had. And indeed, when we all left to study abroad, and during my graduation, for instance, at the Michigan State University, he had then graduated about 3 years earlier and was working in the state of Illinois, Chicago. And I remember he drove about 4 hours from Chicago to East Lansing, Michigan to attend my graduation. So we have been very good friends since. And even though we were in the contest, we still remain very good friends up to now. He was a very hardworking man, very brilliant. His work in Parliament, especially on the floor of Parliament as a great debater, is something that everybody will attest to. This sad news is indeed a very big blow to us. Even though he was member for just 1 year, he was very active in the constituency, especially with the delegates, and we will fondly miss him.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's all. Yeah.
That was the former MP, the MP for Bantama, Francis Asenso-Boakye, eulogizing the deceased MP. But now let's take a look at the report.
Family gathered to mourn the former MP. Close associates of Daniel Ochem Abuaje joined in mourning at the family home. In tears, they speak of his good deeds. Spokesperson Openi Kwame Adomako managed a few words.
Yes, no correct.
What has happened is true. All we can say is that although the head of the family and other key figures are not present at the moment, we can only confirm and say the family has had a great loss. Our brother is gone and it's shocking to us.
Between 2016 and 2020, Daniel Ochem Abuaje served as Member of Parliament for Bantama constituency. In Parliament, he was a member of the Finance Committee due to knowledge in the area. Here are some of the political associates in Bantama constituency.
It's very saddening. My heart is broken, I swear, because I never expect Honorable to pass on this early age, because Honorable has been inspirational to me. Anybody I know, anybody around me knows that Honorable has been inspirational to me. So in several occasions, I'm even short of words that because Honorable, I don't know what to say again, bro.
We're moving in a new direction, moving forward and moving beyond smoking. We are Altria, and our companies are leading the way in moving adult smokers away from cigarettes by taking action to transition millions toward potentially less harmful choices. As we move from being known as a tobacco company to being recognized as a tobacco harm reduction company. Altria is moving beyond smoking. Find out how at altria.com.
Sebastian Gorka here. I'm living a very blessed life as an intelligence analyst, a national talk show host and author, and I have an amazing family. But like many of us, aches and pains start to interfere with living my best life, even just walking the dog. But I found Relief Factor 3 years ago, a 100% drug-free solution for aches and pains, and now I'm pain-free and I have my life back. I take Relief Factor every day. Relief Factor can help your body fight the inflammation that causes joint and muscle pain pain and other aches and pains that come with everyday life. Treat yourself to feeling better. Move more, live more, and just enjoy your life more with Relief Factor. Join me and more than 500,000 other Americans. Get started today with your 3-week quick starter pack for just $19.95. Almost 70% of those who order go on to use it more. ReliefFactor.com. That's ReliefFactor.com. Feel the difference with Relief Factor.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Kind of like choosing Derek Jeter as the pinch hitter for your baseball team.
Jeter, you're in. We need a home run.
I'll give it a try. I've swung a bat once or twice.
That's out of here. Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it even a decision? That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
Here comes pumpkin. And here comes you into a Dunkin', living your wildest pumpkin spice dreams. Because Dunkin's Pumpkin Spice Signature Latte is here. Rich espresso, flavors of pumpkin spice, and a whipped cream topper hit with caramel drizzle and cinnamon sugar is ready for sipping. Order the Pumpkin Spice Signature Latte today. America runs on Dunkin'. Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer. Terms apply.
Cycling isn't just cycling. It can be cycling or cycling or even cycling. Peloton isn't just one thing. We have classes that will ease you in and classes that'll make you sweat and a range of instructors so you can find your match. Whatever you're in the mood for, we can get you in the zone. See for yourself with a worry-free 30-day home trial. Visit onepeloton.com/home-trial. Terms apply.
I'm very, very, very sad. Very, very, very sad. Because Wachem was my everything. My personal, my everything. He's my godfather. My everything. I was former youth organizer, MPP, Bantam MPP youth organizer.
After exiting from Parliament, the MP continued to serve the NPP as a communicator. He owned some businesses in the Ashanti region, and popular among them is 2M Express and MJI Microfinance. For Joy News, Nana Ojima reporting.
Now, between 20% and 30% of tobacco products on Ghana's market are from illicit sources. This was revealed by the head of Tobacco and Substances of Abuse Directorate at the Food and Drugs Authority, FDA, Dr. Olivia Ejekumwa-Boateng. She made this revelation at the opening of a 3-day stakeholder engagement focused on the needs assessment of illicit tobacco trade, aimed at developing modalities for the full implementation of the World Health Organization's Framework Convention on Tobacco Control in Ghana. There's more in the following report.
The 3-day workshop has been attended by stakeholders from the Ministry of Health, World Health Organization, Ghana Immigration Service, civil society organizations, among others, and is aimed at fashioning out modalities towards implementing the World Health Organization's Framework Convention on Tobacco Control in Ghana. Speaking to the media on the sidelines, head of Tobacco and Substances of Abuse Directorate at the Food and Drugs Authority, FDA, Dr. Olivia Ejekumwa-Boateng bemoaned the growing spate of illicit tobacco trade and the need to combat it.
The baseline studies that academia have done so far says that is about 20 to 30% in country, and this is practically a global problem. It's not peculiar to only Ghana. So what the illicit ones should have are graphic health warnings that are allowable or have been designated by Food and Drugs Authority. It should have minimum age restriction, that is 18. It should be labeled clearly in only English. But to realize that those that normally are illicit wouldn't have gone through regulation, they won't have the graphic health warnings, they wouldn't have undergone laboratory investigations. Some even have labeling in French. And what this does is they are competitively cheaper, and youth are able to get these products. And it would, all the gains we've done so far in tobacco, if we do not concentrate on getting rid of illicit, all the gains come to zero.
The World Health Organization's Coordinator for Development Assistance, Andrew Black, believes the full implementation of the World Health Organization's Framework Convention on Tobacco Control will, among other things, help shore up government revenue.
If we were to eliminate all of the illicit tobacco in Ghana, that would have extremely high benefits for tax revenues. Will bring more money into the government's revenues that can be spent by the government for the benefit of the people of Ghana.
On his part, the Executive Director of Programs at the Vision for Alternative Development, Lavrant Musa, believes without enhanced awareness and stringent measures in place, implementation of the WHO's protocols on illicit tobacco trade could be counterproductive.
As far as I'm concerned, I don't want to be the prophet of doom, but I don't see much progress unless we are able to put systems in place to ensure we are able to control our borders very well. Because currently, if you speak to many of the border control points, they are either not aware of some of the distinctive features of the tobacco products, which also means that we need to do more awareness creation, train the custom officials, the GRA officials, so that they are able to detect these products. I know the GRA have apps that you can use to detect illicit products, but the point is that there are a lot of illicit products around our borders. So if we are able to consciously put mechanisms in place, ensure that we are able to man our border, put officials there, train them, then we will see some headway.
A participant from the Ghana Immigration Service, however, believes the 3-day stakeholder deliberations will help curb the menace.
Our borders are considered very porous, so we also conduct a lot of patrols along these points. I believe that JoyNews recently you covered our story where we seized about 64,000 slabs of marijuana in Nive. Well, this workshop is very helpful to the Ghana Immigration Service because it gives us the knowledge. It also opens us up so that we can actually collaborate with other agencies in the space. So FDA, Customs, Special Prosecutor, and the Ghana Police Service and all other agencies that work within the space.
A 2020 report pegged Ghana's tobacco consumption at 4.8 and 0.3% among male adult and women respectively. This puts prevalence of tobacco smoking at 2.6% at the national level. Carlos Scaloni's report for JoyNews.
Now, economist and political risk analyst Dr. Theo Champon is convinced Ghana will not need a second domestic debt exchange program if government cuts back on expenditure. Speaking on the topic beyond the haircut, the prospect for investment and public financing in Ghana in the next decade at the 2023 Baredu Memorial Lecture, Dr. Champon said, should government relook some headline items and how much it spent on those items, a second DDEP is unnecessary.
Why I think the government is trying to push for a second round of the domestic debt exchange is that in this year alone, they need to have raised 2.5 billion. So that's the number I've highlighted there, 2.482 billion from debt relief from the external front, right? But we are already in end of September, going into October, November, and there are no indications as yet that that will be coming through. So basically, if you have rigidities on this external debt restructuring front, then something must give. And what may give is the domestic side, where there's like a second round of debt exchange. In my view, it is not needed. I think if we cut back on some line items on the expenditure side, and we're much more emphatic on value for money and things, and having a clear case for that, there is no need to impose further hardship on citizens of this country. Because however you slice and dice it, the debt exchange is hit people quite hard.
Highlighting the impact of the domestic exchange program on the financial sector, Senior Investment Manager at Daylight Finance, Sewa Abankwa, said individuals no longer have confidence in the financial sector. A situation, she explained, is as a result of the direct relationship between government and the financial sector. She gave an illustration from personal and official experiences.
As we all know, there's a link between the government and the finance sector. And so the moment the government fails in paying any of its obligations to the finance sector, it puts the whole system in disarray. And this comes with compounding effects. One of those effects is liquidity. Just like we all need blood to live, liquidity for every organization is key. That is what the organization needs to run smoothly. And so the moment a financial institution is not liquid, then we are headed for trouble. In 2018, yes, Dalex Finance issued some bonds, some corporate bonds. And these bonds were meant to mature in 2023. As part of our strategic measures, we decided that we'll set aside a sinking fund by investing in some GOG bonds, so that immediately in 2023, we can pay off our bondholders. Then in 2023, haircut. So for the period of January, February, March, we had to suspend lending. We couldn't lend. Just so to maintain our corporate image. We couldn't lend. And for every financial institution, your core mandate is to buy idle funds from individuals and sell. That is how you make profit. And so if you do not have the funds available, it means that you are headed for trouble. And if you are not liquid, your valuation is low. Who would want to invest in an organization with low value? Nobody will be interested. And adversely, if your liquidity is low, you can't make any profits. I'll quickly talk about the other effects that this domestic debt exchange program, or the haircut, has had on the financial sector. Individuals no longer have confidence in the financial sector. Let me take you back to 2017, when we had the cleanup exercise. You notice that individuals who had forex were not affected. Individuals who invested in real estate or in the real sector were not affected. It was only individuals who had their funds in financial institutions that were affected, so their monies were locked up. Then in 2023, we're talking about haircuts. If you have forex, you're cool. If you invest in the real sector, if you have real estate or you are a real estate owner, you're fine. But individuals who invested in financial assets through financial organizations, who bought sovereign debts, are the ones who are affected. And so all of a sudden, the person is thinking, why should I invest in a financial institution? Why don't I also buy dollars and stash it under my bed?
Still on Babredu Memorial Lecture, Professor Frimpong Boateng, the former Minister for Environment, Science and Technology and Innovation, has urged government and all relevant parties to prioritize the integration of critical thinking into the country's education system. He stressed that even with abundant natural resources, Ghana will continue to face disadvantages if she does not possess the essential tools, expertise, and technical knowledge to harness and utilize these resources effectively. He called for a deliberate effort to ensure sustainable development through enhanced education. He was speaking at the Nkrumah Mandela Leadership Lecture.
And the culture of the people. For example, state enterprises will fail when people who are responsible appoint their friends, their cronies to head those institutions, and when things don't go well, they are unable to sanction them. So that is part of our culture. So education, we have to get strategic thinking as to what you want to achieve, not only for this generation, but for future generations. Because we keep on saying that, oh, Ghana is well endowed with natural resources. We have gold, we have diamond, we have timber, and so on. But I want to stress, and I say it all the time, that natural resources have no natural owners.
Can you please repeat that again?
I say natural resources have no natural owners. The owners are those who have the money, the skills, the technology to exploit those resources for their use. For example, you gave the example of oil. If we have oil in this country, I think we see pride in this country, and you have only 70% of the resources, then who owns the oil? If we have gold and we have access to only 10% or 15% of the gold resource, who owns it? So that is the thinking we should have. The same should go about what we have. And you asked about data. What data do you have on our mineral resources? How much manganese do you have? At what rate are we exporting it? How much will it be exhausted? How much of iron ore do we have? What can we do with it? What can we leave for the future generations? These are things that we have to think. In Ghana, we find something, we find lithium, who will buy it? Let's sell it.
The professor was actually speaking at the Nkrumah Mandela lecture. Now, moving on, the Rotary Club of Accra, Ring Road Central, is on a move to save the lives of children and people of Brekusu. Members did an 8.8-kilometer walk to start a fundraiser to raise 1.5 million cedis to complete the Brekusu Clinic in the Eastern region. President of the Rotary Club of Accra, Ring Road Central, Nana Akrofi Koram, called for more support for the Brekusu Clinic.
The 8.8-kilometer walk kick-started from the Labomo Beach through some principal streets of Accra. This year's exercise attracted members from other Rotary clubs and the community uniting with members of Accra Ring Road.
Sebastian Gorka here. I'm living a very blessed life as an intelligence analyst, a national talk show host and author, and I have an amazing family. But like many of us, aches and pains start to interfere with living my best life, even just walking the dog. But I found Relief Factor 3 years ago, a 100% drug-free solution for aches and pains, and now I'm pain-free and I have my life back. I take Relief Factor every day. Relief Factor can help your body fight the inflammation that causes joint and muscle pain and other aches and pains that come with everyday life. Treat yourself to feeling better, move more, live more, and just enjoy your life more with Relief Factor. Join me and more than 500,000 other Americans. Get started today with your 3-week quick starter pack for just $19.95. Almost 70% of those who order go on to use it more. ReliefFactor.com. That's ReliefFactor.com. Feel the difference with Relief Factor.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Kind of like choosing Derek Jeter as the pinch hitter for your baseball team.
Jeter, you're in. We need a home run.
I'll give it a try. I've swung a bat once or twice.
That's out of here.
Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it even a decision? That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
Cycling isn't just cycling. It can be cycling or cycling or even cycling. Peloton isn't just one thing. We have classes that will ease you in and classes that'll make you sweat and a range of instructors so you can find your match. Whatever you're in the mood for, we can get you in the zone. See for yourself with a worry-free 30-day home trial. Visit onepeloton.com/home-trial. Terms apply.
Quality, superior hiding, superior coverage, flamingo paint, simply superior.
Good morning. Welcome to JoyNews Desk. My name is Aisha Ibrahim.
Let me tell you, this is not a small job at all.
What can you report from the Fana community?
We are still sounding the alarm for people who are hiding to know that help has come.
the board is supposed to be meeting this morning to deliberate on this nominee.
Yes, this problem has been recurring over time.
The people have invested the fruits of their excellence, and you want to throw it away because you think you can. No, it's not lawful for him to do it, period.
What's the basis that these financial assurances will be giving latest today?
If you follow what had transpired over the week, we got the information when the president addressed the May Day celebration, indicating that China is going to come on board.
Welcome back. Now to some business stories. The Association of Ghana Industries has called on the Public Utilities and Regulatory Commission to ensure that the industry sector pay fair tariff. Now, according to the association's Chief Executive Officer, Sechum Akwambwa, it has become imperative for industry to pay lower tariffs as compared to households to stay competitive. Now, he has been speaking at the final day of the 2023 Association of Ghana Industries Industrial Summit.
The third and final day of the 2023 Association of Ghana Industries Industrial Summit and exhibition saw discussions on supply chain disruptions, an entrepreneurial pitch competition, as well as an elaborate discussion on energy. The three-day event created a platform for large and small industries to deliberate on key issues affecting the sector. Speaking at the ceremony, Chief Executive Officer of the association, Seth Chum Akwabwa, called for reforms to ensure competitive tariffs to reduce the cost of production for manufacturers.
Eventually, we should have competitive pricing of energy for industry. We've managed to establish a trade house now in Kenya, and we are working towards getting Ghanaian goods there. But others are also consistently and constantly coming to our territory and looking for opportunities. So we need to all work at it. But again, the underlying factor is about competitiveness. If you are not competitive, you sit in your own market, people will bring goods here, their goods will be much cheaper, and they will take away your market. And as I said, a major factor for determining the cost of production is energy. So we must get energy cost to the barest possible minimum. In Ghana, we've seen some improvement, honestly. And I must commend, I know PRC is not here, but I'll commend them, that if you look at the last tariff in September last year, special recognition was given to industry.
Speaking on behalf of the Minister of Energy, Engineer Seth Mao stated that the ministry's efforts in increasing Ghana's energy mix will boost the growth of industry.
We have also added 50 megawatts of ground-mounted solar installation, plus another 5 megawatts floating solar, which probably is the largest in the ECOWAS region. They have the potential to do 250 megawatts within that enclave, and as a ministry, fully support this as part of our march towards energy transition and also to make energy affordable to industry and the economy at large.
The theme for the three-day event was industrialization through sustainable, efficient supply chains.
Now, President of China-Europe International Business School, CEIBS, is asking African leaders to break obstacles that stifle entrepreneurial growth. Professor Dominic Turpin says African entrepreneurs can thrive and compete globally only when they find nurturing environment locally. He's been speaking at the CEIB's 10th anniversary or graduation ceremony in Accra. There's more in the following report.
For 10 years, the China-Europe International Business School has trained 600 top-level entrepreneurs in critical areas. The 10th graduation saw 59 people graduate in Women Entrepreneurship and Leadership for Africa, WELA, Advanced Management Program, AMP, and Owner Director Program. Speaking to the press, CEIBS EUROS President Professor Dominic Turpin stressed the need to policymakers to eliminate bottlenecks hampering entrepreneurship in Africa.
I think it's important that we create an environment where indeed entrepreneurs can thrive, when we can grow, and not just Ghana, but also, I think, take advantage of the fact that Ghana is an English-speaking country to actually conquer the rest of the Anglophone African world and go beyond this frontier. So I think it's important that we create simplicity, that we try as much as possible to reduce the bureaucracy and to make the life of an entrepreneur as helpful as possible. An entrepreneur needs three things to succeed. The first one is to be responsible leaders, because the world is short of responsible leaders. The second one, I think, is to have the courage to take difficult decisions, because we are in a very challenging world. It's volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous, as we say. And the third thing is to have a curious mind.
Executive Director of CEIBS Africa, Professor Matthew Chamenyi, echoed the call for government interventions to support entrepreneurial growth.
I think for me, what I said that government role is government is supposed to provide an enabling environment and necessary conditions. Unfortunately, we are in a situation where interest rates are almost at 30%. And I think they need to do more. So what individual like ABSA is doing now with MasterCard Foundation to be able to give loans at 10%, I think we need a lot of the banks to be able to do that. I think we need those interventions.
Some graduates expressed how CEIBS's offerings are reshaping the entrepreneurial narrative across the continent.
It's been a good journey. I don't think it's. I think for me, what has drawn me and what has impressed me most about this is it's not the theory. It's mostly about the depth of experience that has been brought to bear, the networking opportunity, the practicality of the lessons and the tools that we've shared here. And I think everybody would agree with me that leadership is a big question that needs to be answered across Africa. We do not lack for functional skills, expertise, anything. I think the question that we desperately need to answer is the question of leadership. I think programs like this, and which is a collaboration between the European Union, China, and of course, very, very heavily invested in Africa, I think are important to sort of groom leaders both for today and for tomorrow.
If you know what you're doing, where you're going, what your business is worth, you should do this for your business. It's very practical. I mean, by the second model, you had us doing things different in our business. You had us approaching things different in our business. And thank God now our businesses are not dinosaurs, so they won't go extinct. We're going to live by everything that has been taught and more, because our last model had to do with gender and leadership, and you realize that there's a lot more for especially women in Africa.
That's all for business. We'll return with more. Please stay.
At the heart of the illegal mining craze, babies are being born deformed. Their formation stage is interrupted by poisonous minerals exposed by illegal mining.
When it is deformed, you can find the sexes of the baby. The placenta had a lot of mercury and lead.
But those who seek gold continue to expose the toxins that nature once hidden.
Cadmium, lead, copper, mercury, they are of alarming concern.
When you bring it up there, they are mobilized into our water bodies, and that is where we get exposed to them.
The country's water bodies have become lifeless. Across Ghana, they flow like a plague, polluting the sea with the venom of illegal mining.
You need about 10 to 15 micrograms per deciliter in your blood, and you are in trouble.
In this documentary,
Erastus Osoredonko and his team investigate how silently Ghanaians may be poisoned for gold. Poisoned for Gold, coming soon.
Welcome back. Now, an honoree of JoyNews Impact Makers Award, Richard Oke-Mensah, has presented his award to members of his community and beneficiaries of his various interventions. The chief and people of the Boafre in the Oti region thanked JoyNews for the initiative to recognize and honor them to their son. JoyNews' Peter Seno was with Richard in Boafre and reports.
I'm so overwhelmed by the award given to me by JoyNews, the Joy Impact Makers Award. The award is now bringing the energy in me and then in everyone not to limit ourselves to just Boafre, and even not into just in Chumuru traditional area alone, but they are looking at the region as well. But you know, other regions are also looking at it because it's not only Oti region that I work. So the demand is becoming stronger. It's a challenge, but it's a welcome challenge, and we are so grateful for it. When this was announced, I told them, they woke up, they watched the program during the presentation all throughout. And when I told them I'm bringing the award to them, the entire community came up together. My team here, the farmers here, very, very dedicated. And the evidence is there for everyone to see. But as they have been saying, now they are ready to support me to expand this project. June and JoyNews frame me Sema Memra Labadi Beach Hotel. Nagana how much na mapa nepedu au mu ye djuma sonkwa ebua kro ko ahodo a meka ho de enso omode ma me ene se kuayo agriculture and social welfare ana ebusan ye die ena bode mi no ema me na metna se ngunu se we de nyame na mo ye Boafre mo ye mta ema ye.
This is what the chiefs and the people have to say at the Deba.
It's an award given to the manager. It's very significant to the area and then Chumuru in particular, because if we had not cooperated very well with them, we wouldn't have come. So we thank the Joy for disseminating the information to Ghana. And we hope the project will continue, expansion will go on, land will be given, and water supply will also be given to our people. We thank you very much for giving this award. I hope the next time you come, the award will be bigger than this.
We'll take a break. We'll return with sports. Please stay. Now to some sports story.
Aquí estamos preguntando sobre supersticiones financieras.
Bueno, en mi familia decían, si te pica la mano, no te la rasques porque viene dinero.
Pero si quieres controlar tu presupuesto, hay una manera mucho más práctica.
¿En serio?
Con el plan Precio Personal de State Farm, puedes crear un precio accesible solo para ti.
Y sin aguantar picazón, me gusta.
Como un buen vecino, State Farm está ahí. Llama para obtener una cotización hoy. Los precios varían según el estado. La elegibilidad para la selección de cobertura podría variar.
Sebastian Gorka here.
I'm living a very blessed life as an intelligence analyst, a national talk show host and author, and I have an amazing family. But like many of us, aches and pains start to interfere with living my best life, even just walking the dog. But I found Relief Factor 3 years ago, a 100% drug-free solution for aches and pains, and now I'm pain-free and I have my life back. I take Relief Factor every day. Relief Factor can help your body fight the inflammation that causes joint and muscle pain and other aches and pains that come with everyday life. Treat yourself to feeling better. Move more, live more, and just enjoy your life more with Relief Factor. Join me and more than 500,000 other Americans. Get started today with your 3-week quick starter pack for just $19.95. Almost 70% of those who order go on to use it more. ReliefFactor.com. That's ReliefFactor.com. Feel the difference with Relief Factor.
Cycling isn't just cycling. It can be cycling or cycling or even cycling. Peloton isn't just one thing. We have classes that will ease you in and classes that'll make you sweat and a range of instructors so you can find your match. Whatever you're in the mood for, we can get you in the zone. See for yourself with a worry-free 30-day home trial. Visit onepeloton.com/home-trial. Terms apply.
Rwanda Football Federation has suspended its women's national team head coach, Grace Nyinawomuntu, for her Black Queens are like men comment. Now, Grace said this after Ghana's women's national team beat her side 7-0 in their 2023 Women's African Cup of Nations qualifier played in Kigali last Wednesday. She claimed her players were scared of the Black Queens because they were like men. And again, according to her, the girls who went to play the games had male hormones. They're girls who are like men. And she added that their team was scared. When they got to the pitch, they conceded because they were scared. Now we move on to world news. At least 34 people died in Benin on Saturday, September 23, when a warehouse for smuggled fuel exploded into flames. A government official and residents said the blaze erupted in the commune of Semekpoji near Nigeria's border. Now, local media report that the prosecutor's office has launched an investigation into the incident. Benin Interior Minister was among the officials who visited the scene. He said the cause of the fire was fuel, particularly smuggled fuel. And 34 people have since been confirmed dead, and 20 people have sustained varied degrees of injuries. He added that all burned victims have been stabilized. Also, in Kosovo, reports say shots have been heard in an area in North Kosovo where at least 30 gunmen have been surrounded by authorities hours after a patrol was ambushed in the area that killed one police officer. Now, according to the news agency, the police officer was killed and another was injured earlier on Sunday in a shooting in the village of Banska in the first such violence in months, which Prime Minister Albin Kurti claimed has the support from officials from neighboring Serbia. Now, Kosovo police added that 2 trucks with no license plates had blocked a bridge at the entrance of the village. 3 police units were sent to unblock it but came under fire from different portions with different weapons, hand grenades and bombs. Police managed to push back the attack and take 2 injured police officers at the hospital in southern Mitrovica. One of them was dead on arrival, doctors said. That's all we have in this package. You can log on to myjoyonline.com for more story. My name is Carlos Scaloni. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great afternoon.